Welcome back to Off Guard. It's your host, Austin Rivers, along with my co-host, Pausha Haghighi. We are back. Another episode of Off Guard. Thanksgiving is officially over. Holiday season still in full form. Christmas. Are you on the...
Do I celebrate Christmas? We can't do this every holiday.
No.
On
Well, first of all, how was your Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving was awesome. I didn't eat as much. It wasn't like this crazy thing where what?
Oh, no.
I told my girlfriend how you were questioning the seasoning of the food that her family was going to have.
I was.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was good. We had a good time. I did meet a lot of people at once, which was
nice.
It's a lot, you know. It's not. I didn't remember all the names, but over time.
Yeah.
But I want to get into. This is your first time working with NBC and Peacock in your hometown of Orlando. That's why we're able to do the pod in person today on a Monday. What's that been like? Are you excited or?
Yeah, I mean, so far feels run the norm. Nothing new. I guess tonight I'll have those answers. Just being in an arena that I have so much familiarity with, it being a hometown team of Orlando, it'll probably be a little weird seeing so many familiar faces while working. But I mean, calling the game, I'm not playing in it, so there's nothing really to be nervous about.
Yeah, I just feel like we talked about this before we hit record today. We know a lot of people at these games. You know a lot of the courtside people, obviously, whenever you go, that's where you sit. This is different, man. You're working. You got to tell those people to not. Like, if there's a crazy play, they can't come all over you and talk to you.
It's one thing I've continued to try to stress to fans that I'm sitting next to, because the on the bench broadcast is different from the traditional broadcast, where we don't just have all three broadcasters sitting in the middle of the courtside behind a desk. I am sitting literally courtside by myself, the other commentators on the other side, and then we only have one across from us in the middle. So we're like at a triangle, and I am usually sitting next to a fan. Right now, from what I hear tonight, my seat is right next to Coach Mosley, or the trainer at least. So I'm right there, but somebody's going to be to my right. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, I don't know. I ignore people if I have to. At the end of the day, I'm working. So if someone's feelings get hurt because I don't respond when they're like, hey, I'm just like, yeah, I don't know what you want from me.
Right. I've gone to these games with you before, and yeah, you got me. Obviously, a lot of people come to you and talk to you and all that stuff. It's almost like NBC's gonna have to hire someone to be next to you to block some people out.
The good news is I'm gonna stay on the court.
Yeah.
That's what you do. You stay on the court, they can't get you. You stay in the court and you block out the noise, and you're working, and then I go from tunnel to work. I'm in and out of there, man. Like tonight, when that game ends, I'm headed right back home. So
yeah.
But I got friends, family, everybody will be there, or a lot of people will be there, and. Again, it's different. I'm not playing, so it's not like we're going to go see. I'm just calling the game. I got a suite for everybody if they want to go watch the game. So, yeah.
Yeah, from our last pod on YouTube, there was a clip of us talking about the best shooters of all time, right? Remember when we didn't have that plan to talk about, right? So we're talking about Klay Thompson and Ja. And it just you just were like, by the way, Klay Thompson's like a top 3 shooter of all time. And you started naming them kind of just off the top of the head. I hate when you go off the top of the head and people start complaining. How did he forget this guy? Or
who they have in there? What, Bird?
Someone said like Larry Bird. I'm like, there was a couple seasons he shot like 23s, I guess, in the season. Like, I don't know. Like, it's hard to gauge. You know what I mean? So
I'm still the same list.
Right. I just feel like if some people don't realize that when you're going off the top of the head, you might also.
Sure. And also, I might have a different opinion than you. I don't care. I didn't miss Larry Bird. I said my top 4 shooters, the same list. I think the greatest shooters of all time are Steph Curry, Ray Allen, Klay Thompson, Reggie Miller. I stand by that group. I don't really have anything else to add to that.
Yeah.
Are there other great shooters on that list? Yeah. Damian Lillard's another one. Like we talked about, James Harden, Larry Bird, Kyle Korver. I mean, there's a tons of great shooters in totality of the league. Steve Nash was a fantastic shooter. But again, my top 4, I'm going with that group right there. That's the Rushmore. So,
did you see what Stan Van Gundy said? Where he was talking with Zach Lowe about Jokic is one of the best. Zach Lowe said that he's one of the best offensive players of all time. And Stan Van Gundy said he might be the greatest player of all time. Like, kicked it up a notch a little bit.
Just from an efficiency standpoint, it's hard to deny like what he's doing right now.
Right. And so I saw a lot of people arguing, saying, if you only have one title, how could you be up there compared to these other guys? And that's where you're saying title culture has actually been a bad thing for the NBA because people now judge rings when a guy like Jokic has been the best player in the NBA for 6-7 years now.
Yeah.
He might end up with 1 ring.
Yeah, I think when you make it, or it's tough because the rings have to be a part of it. You know, that's part of a individual player's greatness, is being a winner, being able to propel a team to win. Ultimately, that is why you play basketball. Basketball games are to win. So there's definitely a stake in that. When we hang our hat on it, it's what there's a line there that people cross. It's like I like bringing up the rings, but at some point, someone's individual play just matters more. You know, it's beyond just winning, and there's so much that goes into winning, a team aspect, who you have, all these different things. So it is tough with Nikola because he's going to get his 4th MVP this year, most likely, and he could have won probably 6. So you look at it from the standpoint of the last 7-8 years, the run he's put, 4 MVPs. There hasn't been a lot of players other than like MJ and a couple others who have won that many MVPs for one in that amount of time too. Like he's dominating. And then you add the efficiency, the numbers he's putting up, the triple doubles, the percentages he's shooting everything at. His plus minus points to him being the most efficient, effective offensive player in the history of our game. It does. So I don't know where you want to put him in totality. I don't know if he wins 1 more, does it change it? Does he need just 1 more than 1? That's why the ring culture is tricky. I don't know the answer to these. I'm not the lawmaker.
Well, has he ever? I have a question for you. It's not like he goes to the playoffs and he's not. Has he ever had a series where he wasn't the best player?
He dominates every series he plays.
Right. It's not like when he lost to the Timberwolves or he loses to the Thunder. He's still the best player in every
dominated.
series.
It's just a matter of how much help he can get.
Yeah.
What team does he have? Team currently put and constructed is very good, and a team that can compete for a championship, and they will this postseason. I think everybody knows that. Do I think anybody can beat OKC? I don't.
Right, it's not Jokic's fault that OKC has
I
potential 70-win team.
I think timing is everything in our NBA, and I think some people are beneficiaries of being a part of a season where multiple things. For instance, Kawhi Leonard has how many rings?
2.
All right, well, one of them came when everyone got hurt for the Warriors. Shit happens, all right? There's also rings where, like, it's a weird year. The bubble. LeBron James has 4 rings. Well, one of them was in the bubble. Okay.
Where do you stand now?
Jimmy Butler's gone to the finals twice. That team had no business being there. It's happened. The Pacers went last year. Just sometimes things happen in a certain conference. It's not Nikola's fault that, like, the timing. I say all this because the team the Thunder currently have, depending on how the season ends up, and this could go down as one of the greatest runs. And I mean, bro, this team they're 20-1. All right, they're on pace to break a record here.
A couple questions for you. You mentioned the bubble.
My goodness.
You played in the bubble. Now that time has passed, what's your take on the bubble title? Was it harder, easier, different?
In some ways, the bubble could be described as harder from a mental standpoint of, just the limited access to your family, all these different variables of playing inside and living inside of a set community, isolated from the world. I get that. With that being said, it does change the complete dynamic of basketball and how it's played and how sports works. And I don't really care. People who argue against this are delusional. I was there. There's no home court advantage. Okay?
Yeah, so you didn't have like this big road win.
There's no road win.
Yeah.
Okay, so that kills it. There's no crowd. There's no environment. There's no pressure from that standpoint. There's different. The lights are bright. They weren't in there. They were dark. Literally.
Right.
You're playing there. Even from the shooting standpoint of not having 200 feet behind each basket of arena space. It was like black curtains behind. It's the best shooting gym you could possibly imagine.
So, what's your take on, like, if LeBron has a crazy dunk and the crowd goes crazy, it feels like more than 2 points. Yeah, but in there, it was more.
No, it's
like just next play.
Yeah, it's just like playing pickup.
Yeah.
The reality is so many different variables were altered. Okay, so I'm not saying it shouldn't have counted because at the end of the day, everybody was in there and everybody had an opportunity to win, and the Lakers won. So you have to give them credit. They did win a championship. Do I think it has an asterisk next to it? I do. It doesn't mean it's not special. It doesn't mean it's not important. I just don't think it's one of the same to a normal championship. I think it's its own thing. And you got to give them credit for winning it because they did. Do I think you can knock LeBron for it? No, it's not his fault. He went there just like everybody else did, and he went and won it. It's not LeBron's fault.
Does it help that they were the favorites going into the bubble?
Does it help that they were the favorites going in?
Yeah, they won, but they were also really good before the bubble.
Yeah,
before
correct.
The pandemic.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. I mean, listen. It's hard to knock somebody when everybody had an opportunity. I was in that same bubble. We wanted to win too. We didn't win. Okay, so it's like you got to give them credit. But there is certain just elements of the game, the atmosphere, the everything, the travel, the going back and forth. Usually it's the West Coast, East Coast teams. This stuff matters. Like it's just all that was taken out. It was all on one court in a dark convention center gym. Like, bro. Like, no.
It was that much different, like playing in that gym.
What? Bro, it felt like playing in a pickle game.
Did you see Luka complaining about the in-season tournament court and how slippery? Have you ever had
but I would imagine with all
like
those stickers and paints and colors, that's natural.
Yeah.
Not to mention, you add the fact that when you lost, you got to go home. People were really happy. In no other atmosphere and no other element are people happy when they lose in the playoffs. Like when you're in the NBA playoffs, you are fighting, crawling, scratching, tooth and nail to stay in, to advance. You want to stay playing in the show. There's no better time in the world to play other than playing the playoffs. That's the best time in the world to play as a basketball player is the NBA playoffs. You lost in the bubble, and guys are like, God, well. You take a shower, and you look around in that little room at Disney, like, well, bye. I had my car out front. Mind you, I live in Orlando, so I was just like, my shit was already, the engine was on. I had the motor turned on and everything. I had a cup of coffee waiting on for you. Everything was already set in stone when I got out of there. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, it
just was different. Okay, so I don't know what that means. LeBron them still won. Give him credit. Do I think there's an asterisk next to it? I do. Do I think it's something to poke or make fun of LeBron or like? No, you can't take away from it because at the end of the day, he still won. Everyone had it. I would have done that no matter who won. Not to mention he's won 3 the other way.
Yeah.
So he's a champion regardless of the fact. But I always think that championship's a little different. Yeah.
Yeah. What was it? Is it the next season where you had that crazy Nuggets Blazers series?
Yes.
Yeah,
correct.
That was that one of the craziest series you were a part of?
That was one of those series that you're like, man, that should have been in front of a crowd, a full crowd. Because that was, every game was just like a hell of a game. Down to the wire, everyone's hitting big shots. That was probably the most fun I've had playing in a playoff series since my Clippers days.
Yeah.
And I've had some good ones at Houston, but my role in that Denver team was fun. And there were some injuries at the time, so I was starting and getting to play like really big minutes. So it was just like,
And I think you had a different appreciation also because during that year you had a weird year, right, with like the Knicks and then.
Oh man, yeah, I was at home. People, the biggest problem for players is they don't learn to change their ways until it's too late. They want to change as soon as the opportunity has been taken from them already. It's too late. And professional sports is unforgiving, so they don't care. Some players are talented, so they get a second chance. Don't bet on talent because it's not always going to be there for you. You can't always rely on it. If you're relying on your talent, you're eventually going to fail. There has to be something else you add to the game more than just you being talented, bro. Otherwise, you're wasting it. It's like, and that's the biggest thing I take away. I got to play in the NBA over a decade. I would have never played that long if I didn't adjust and learn at opportune times to know how to kill my ego. You have to know when to kill your ego and when to believe in it. You got to know the difference between the two. And some guys can't figure that out. And some guys you just continue to hang their hat on who they are and confuse that with progression. And it gets them out of the league quick. I see it all the time. And then they want to, I want to just do this. I want to play hard. I'm not going to say anything to coach. And I just want to play my role. Brother, it's too late.
Right. And if anyone could put their ego aside, coming from you being able to do it, if you can do it, being the number 1 player in the country,
yeah, bro.
Going to Duke out of all colleges, being one and done, being a top 10 pick, if you could do it, a lot of these other guys should be able to do it as well.
It's everyone's a star from where they are, and everyone's parents and friends and brothers think they're the greatest thing in the world, and they're so special. Everyone's so special. They don't give a damn, okay, in the NBA. I'm not saying as cold as that, like there's not brotherhoods and friendships formed in the NBA, because there is. I have plenty. I have hundreds of friends scattered throughout the NBA. Guys who played, guys who coached, trainers, equipment managers, you name it. Video coordinators, ball boys, whatever. I'm friends with all different types of people across. So that is real. But the business reality and who's on that roster will always remain what it is. And it's a business, and it's a cold one. And if you are someone whose output isn't high and your maintenance is, they gonna get rid of you, bro. So that year I had a lot of opportunity. I say all this because that year I had an opportunity to sit on the couch for a little bit and actually be like, what are ways I can be better as a vet? Okay, this is bigger than just my play and my performance. I'm not averaging 25 a game. Okay, so if I'm giving them 8 to 10, 11, 12 points, whatever, in that range, what can I do as a pro to make myself attractive to every team? Where they're like, hey, we could use him. This guy can hit an open shot. He can drive. He can make plays, beat people off the dribble, and he's going to defend his ass off. And he's just a great locker room guy. That's what you got to be known as. Problem is, guys don't get that way of thinking till it's too late. Now, luckily, I had a little bit of success in the league. I had other places I had played well before, to where when I got waived by New York, or not OKC, when I got traded from the Knicks, I had other teams who had video of me, who have seen me play for years. But okay, we know Austin is. We'll sign him. So I got a chance on that Nuggets team. A lot of guys don't get that. I would have been dead in the water. League I would have been in the NBA for 7 years, 6 years, instead of, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So the biggest part, I see that in sports all the time. There's a young man, I won't say his name. There's a guy right now I know, local kid. He's been, kicked out of a few colleges, and he's trying to like make it work somewhere. And he's like, this team wants me, but like the gig out on you is not good. So it's too hard, bro. It's late. I'm not saying this to quit. I'll never advise someone to quit on their dreams, all right? Because there are people who probably would have told Kevin Porter Jr. to quit when he was over playing in Europe. He wasn't in like high level Euro League playing. He was at wherever he was. People were like, yo, this curtain's for you. Now this guy's like a top tier guard for the Bucks. But that's a extreme example. And again, he has games where he's put up 50 and 40 and
he's
30.
like that supreme talent that you're going to get another chance.
Those guys get chances because he's already put in work in the NBA, and people have seen that Kevin Porter Jr. obviously can ball. You're not him, okay? So for the 99.9999999% of basketball players out there playing, don't think like that, because you're not him. You're not me. Respectfully.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, bro, if I could put myself, you have to be able to do it. And you know what's true? If I would have done a better job even, I'd probably still be playing. I'd probably be guaranteed. I'd play till I'm 16 years in the league.
But that's more like we said, the NBA just going younger no matter what.
Of course. No, I'm not saying
hundreds of casualties every year.
I'm not saying it's all me.
Yeah.
But you have to look in the mirror. And there are always ways you could have been better. And there are things that I even know now, as things I did was Minnesota. For instance, because I wasn't playing a lot, I wouldn't get to the practice facility that early. I wasn't playing. I was just a vet. So I was there just to be positive force, do my time. If I was ready to, if they needed me to play, I'd go in there and hoop. But if not, I'm over there clapping, just being. But again, the example you said, if I have practice at 1, instead of getting there at 12:15, 12:30, why wasn't I there at 11:30? Why didn't I lift and then get a breakfast and then do my full treatment? Because all I'm showing is Ant and all these guys like, damn, this guy don't even play. Look at it, boom, 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 boom. That's what a pro look like. That stuff matters, bro. That's why Michael Conley's still playing. That's why Jeff Green still plays.
By the way, Michael Conley, our producer, sent us a clip of him hitting a 3 last night. A different handshake for every player.
18 different handshakes. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be all in. All that little things matters, man. Like this stuff, it really does. That Giannis clip that's gone viral. He was like, from our NBC interview, I for the game, he was, he's like, that 15th man, that 14th man, you got to be all in. If you're not positive at the end of the bench, we might be towards the front of it. And that's crazy to think that a player doesn't play a lot, has that type of power. You do. Those, like, people used to make fun of a Theo Pinson. Like, those people like Theo Pinson. People want the guy at the end of the bench to be all in. It helps. Right. It helps make the plane light when you lose. It helps make the plane, the bench, what's the word? It's contagious is the word I'm looking for. It's contagious.
Yeah, not just things you do on the court are contagious. Off the court,
off the court, it just helps the environment.
Like the vibe of a locker room, right? Like you always talk about after a win or after a loss. Like if you lose for a few games in a row, you don't want to go to that locker room.
Yeah, it changes. Yeah. I don't even want to go in there and say hi.
Yeah.
Like even if I have a player on another team, if I know they've lost 4 or 5 in a row, like I'm not even going in there It's like someone died.
Yeah.
I don't want to go in there. Vibe ain't right. Vibes are, it's important.
That also goes with the leader too. Like we talk about the 15th man. When your best player could be potentially moody or on and off.
I know you played with a couple. I'm not going to say names.
Yeah, but like that also comes.
But I've played with guys who are talented as ever, man. Some of the best players I've ever played in my life. But because they are so up and down emotionally, it was hard to be led by them. Because some days the gym would be dark and you'd be like, why? He came in. He's like, so all the rest of us were all just like, oh, hi. Like, you don't want that mood, man. You turn the ball over and he's yelling at you because he's mad at you. You're like, bro, I touched. Like that can happen.
Right.
I've seen it with 3 or 4 like really good players I played with. They're great guys, great players. Nothing against them. They're just like more up and down people. It's very hard to be like a stoic, consistent leader every day.
Yeah. Well, so how come like a guy like Dwight Howard got criticized a lot in Orlando for like goofing off too much, being silly? But what about a leader like that where at least he was always like in a good mood?
Because you usually want, like, I don't mind Dale Armstrong being silly. You know what I mean?
He was still out there like dunking on people and blocking every shot.
But Superman's not funny. We need, you know what I'm saying? We need you to do your job and just be the man.
Yeah.
We're not goofy. I don't want to lose and see you out, Magic of losing. Dwight's. I don't want to see none of that. One of those other guys, yes, not you. But you know what? He was. Again, we talked about that in our last pod. We touched on his excellence in the league and just how dominant he was. Dwight was one of those guys that he just. I really do believe, for whatever reason, I couldn't even pinpoint it. Honestly, to do so, I would have to like talk about bullshit. To why his legacy isn't as. And it is. He's first ballot Hall of Fame, so I don't want to diminish it because he is. I just think there's he should be even bigger. I don't know what is that me?
No, for sure.
Dwight Howard should.
It doesn't help that like also the other like older players like Shaq and stuff kind of they didn't really ever co-sign him either.
No, they didn't embrace him.
Yeah,
they didn't embrace him. But his career says everything otherwise. You know what I mean? Just in terms of what he's done. Dwight's first ballot Hall of Fame for a reason, man. He was a monster.
Right.
Man, just absolute pain. We grew up getting to watch him perform here in Orlando, obviously being local. So, yeah.
Yeah, when you talk about, what players, young players or vets or, what they need to do to stay in the league, it reminds me, I talked to an NBA player recently who said, I play some of these teams, and he named the teams, but we don't have to do that here. They have a bunch of draft picks on their team, a bunch of like lottery picks. The team's still going to be in the lottery next year. And he's like, some of these guys that they tanked for and stuff, they're like not that good. Like a lot of these young guys, like they weren't that good. And it was like, I was like, do you think that means the future of the NBA is not good? He's like, no, I'm just saying. He was like kind of almost going at the word tanking. Like you might have a bad season, pick someone 7th, and that guy's not good. You're going to be right back into.
Yeah.
There's a lot of these guys you're like the franchise looking towards. And he's like, man, we play this guy. This guy was the 8th pick or this guy was.
Are you talking about right now in the game?
Yeah. And then you play these teams and. Yeah, they're like, these guys weren't really that good. I don't know.
Yeah, I think a lot of these guys are talented. A lot of these young, long, athletic wings that are being taken. Every player is a project. The ceiling is LeBron. The floor is, whatever, right? Every lanky player that comes out of the draft, Kevin Durant. I'm like, bro, I haven't seen one since. Don Maker. Kevin Durant. Like, because he's tall and long. Like, it's just we do that. I don't know. There's so much that goes into a player working. Some players don't have Colin Knippel is like the best player in this draft right now. He's killing. All right. But his talent is nowhere near half these other guys. Cooper played with him last year. Cooper was the guy that dominated college basketball. Knippel's dominating the NBA right now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
is it making it harder to scout these guys going in now? Like, what would translate to the NBA and what wouldn't?
I think it just makes it. I think, if anything, it just makes people maybe have an understanding that being a GM, being a president of a team is hard. Man, it's hard. So much pressure, so much responsibility, so much scout, so much opinion, knowledge, statistics, analytics, all about one decision that you could just be completely wrong about for whatever reason. There is nothing on paper, nothing at last year at Duke that would have made you be like, I'm going to take Knippel over Harper. And by the way, Harper's going to be a star.
Yeah, Harper's. Yeah, I watched him play last night.
Harper's really good. Yeah. So this isn't. I still wouldn't take Knippel over Harper, but I'm pointing out just in terms of right now success in the NBA. That Harper wasn't a good example, but you know what I'm saying. Ace Bailey, take your pick. All these guys, right? Because the ceiling is so high, and they had this ability, and they're able to do this, and this is what your team needs, and you already have this position because this other young guy that's playing point guard is doing really well, so you want to keep him going, so you don't want to draft. So much goes into just drafting that guy. So when you get this guy, if it doesn't work out, people are like, he doesn't know what he's doing. It's like, yeah, that guy's playing well. He doesn't fit our team, man.
Well, people are saying right now, like, how's a guy like Derek Queen slide in this draft?
Yeah, so everyone's like,
looking at him now, like, look at this guy. Like,
bro, I saw him get a rebound last night. Go coast to coast. The guy tried to cut him off. He put it behind his back, and the guard tried to set him up to do it. So he tried to fake like this. Like the guard's in front of him. Derek Queen's driving. The guy tries to pretend like he's going to go so he can get it behind his back. Derek puts it behind his back and swoops it over with the one hand and then lays. I'm just like, bro, that's like that Nas Reed guard shit that you're seeing some of these fusion bigs have. That's what Queen is. And people didn't really put him as that. His coach had an interesting quote from college. He said, if this guy's white and foreign, he'd be a top 5 pick.
Right. But this guy went to Montverde on the most stacked team in high school history, one and done in Maryland, big shot in the tournament, and still kind of slid in the draft. And now you're looking at him in the NBA, you're like...
No, he's like, oh my God, he's steal a draft.
Yeah.
He's unbelievable. Yeah, he looks great. So, obviously, Knippel, he was a high pick. It's not like Knippel was a lottery pick, guys.
Yeah, he's a 4th pick, I think.
Yeah. People are like, Knippel, man, he's playing well. I was like... He went number 4. The other 3 guys ahead of him are all big-time players. He's supposed to be this good. I mean, he's that good. He went, Brandon Miller was good at Knippel.
Yeah.
I was like, they're both good. Top picks. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's just because he's white and, 6'2". People are like, yo, Knippel, man, who would have thought? I was like, apparently Charlotte did. They drafted him number 4.
Who would have thought? John Shire thought, and then
Duke thought when we started last year, and then the NBA thought. I was like, "What is wrong with you? What does he never not?"
And there's 7 Knippels, so watch out. There's a bunch of.
I know they got a whole family of these dudes.
Are they all going to commit to Duke? They had to keep that thing going.
They they got something going over there. Yeah. So it's hard, and being a front office executive is hard, and a lot of it is luck. You know what I mean? Like again, and it makes it even harder that you have so much information. And you have so many scouts. It's so much.
We said that in this year's draft, you don't even want the number 1 pick. It'd be easier to get the number 3 pick.
Easier to get number 3. I'd rather have a couple of decisions made for me.
You accidentally get Cam Boozer at 2 or 3 instead of having to draft him 1.
Yeah, 1 is like, who do you...
Yeah,
Michael Jordan might be in this draft. I don't know if I want... Are we going to draft... The only saving grace is Olajuwon was picked, and he was very...
Yeah, no, it's always Sam Bowie. No one's ever like, well, Olajuwon over Jordan.
Yeah, everyone's like, we're cool with Olajuwon.
Yeah, they went to the finals in year 2.
Yeah, year 2 and won back-to-back and is an MVP. Olajuwon gets it. People are like,
we'll take 7 foot. You had to do it.
We'll take Akeem. Yeah, that was a good run too. So we can't be mad at that run.
Right.
Even though Michael was there, it would have been great in Houston. But we'll take. Imagine just Michael and he like this. The Bulls not being. It's just the whole thing changes.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? Again, that's how the ripple effect of time and making decisions and how crazy and how so many GMs I'm sure overthink because there's so many opinions. Imagine that war room. No, this guy. But you're just like. You got to be the guy to be like, we're going here.
Yeah.
And obviously the owner has a say depending on which team and how involved he is. But yeah, Matt Ishbia, sure.
Right.
It's so funny because I actually know Matt, and every time I talk to him, I'm like, hey man, let me know if you need anything, nothing job wise, just like I know you're looking for a new head coach. If you have any questions about any of these guys, I know a lot of these dudes have worked with them. Let me know. He's like, hey, appreciate you, buddy. I'm not, too involved in it. I'm like, oh, you're not too involved, Matt? I was like, okay.
But things are going good though. Maybe you'd say,
yeah. But yeah, so it's crazy.
Yeah. So last night, I just want to say officially, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, welcome to the Most Improved Player Award. Running. Man, he's another 30-point game. Jalen Johnson, I think he had a crazy stat line of 40 something, 15, the whole 9. Once again, without Trey, which makes it tricky. But the Hawks wide open in the East. How many guys are out there like Nickeil Alexander-Walker? They're averaging 9 a game for a team that you could bring him on, and now he's averaging 20.
Oh, yeah, man.
There are a lot of guys out there you could pluck.
There's a handful. I wouldn't say a lot. Every guy thinks they can.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you that much. Every player thinks they can average 20 in a different team. Could a lot of them? Maybe, yeah. A handful of them, yeah.
But
I'd probably
don't
say
you
one. There's usually one guy a team that's like averaging like.
But don't you know the team that has him? For example, you told me Naz Reid was good before he kind of blew up. You were like, secrets out. Like Naz Reid's really good.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't the team that have them know what they have? Like I remember when the Celtics signed Peyton Pritchard to a kind of a big deal for a guy that was at the end of the bench, and then he ended up being pretty good, right? Getting 6th man of the year. Everyone's like, well, they know what they had. You know what I mean?
For sure. I think it's in front of their face, so they do know. And sometimes, again, situation is there, and they know they can't do anything about it. It's like having, again, let's go with your example you just used. They knew Nas was good. They also knew for him to it's tough there with Carl and this and that. Like it's just like you can't do nothing about it. It happens all the time. Like you'll see a guard. And you'll be like, man, this guy's good, but like he's playing behind so and so. Like I don't know if we'll be able to keep him. It happens all the time. So yeah, they know, and they know when it's not probably even going to work there, and they got to make it as if it is. Like no, your time. They know it's not working here, bro.
Yeah.
And as soon as they get traded, he gonna go kill over there. You'll hear it from usually their own coaches or front. They'll know it themselves. Even the front office will be like, yeah, we had to make the move. We're happy with where we're at. He's great. He's going to do great over there because they know he is. You know what I'm saying? Like, it happens all the time. You'll see players. You could take a player off each team, at least one usually. Like, if you gave Nembhard his own offense, you don't think his numbers – I mean, I guess he's getting it right now. But you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of these guys, I could go pick a team. I could grab a guy and be like, yo, for instance, Magic are seeing it right now. Look what Franz is doing now that he's, like, getting his own –
and like you said last pod, Anthony Black's playing really well.
Now look at Anthony Black. Yeah. Anthony Black's averaging like 20 over his last time. If Anthony Black was on a team where they said go play, if he was on the Wizards, he wouldn't be averaging 17 a game, 18 a game. He might be.
But then you'd call it empty stats. It's hard to figure out who would do it on a team that's
winning.
It's
not empty stats. It just doesn't matter as much if you're playing for a shitty team. I don't like to call him empty because every night he's playing against an NBA team. Yeah. I don't like the empty stat thing. This dude is still going out there like people are like Kuz averaged 18 for the Wizards. That's empty stats. He still played against an NBA team every single night and still had to go score those points. No one else scored it. No Tooth Fairy, no Santa Claus. No one dropped the ball in the basket except him. They're his numbers. He earned them. There's nothing empty about it. Is it, again, it's like the bubble ring. Is there an asterisk next to it just because it's a little different? Yeah, because he's not doing it.
Because it's about can you do it as the third guy getting less touches?
And can you do it with it attributing to winning? Can you do it within the flow of an offense that leads to winning? Can you score and be productive towards a winning culture is a totally different thing from are you good enough to go put the ball in the basket? Two different things. So I don't believe it's empty, but they are different. Because I told this example, if Michael Porter Jr. never played, if you never knew anything about the NBA and watched them play, and you watched the shot selection that Michael shoots, and the type of shots he takes, you'd be like, he don't know how to play winning basketball.
Right.
No, he actually does. He was the third option for the team that won a championship. So it's very hard. It can't be empty. You got to take something out of it. That's why I'm so much on Cam Thomas' side. He's only ever been in Brooklyn. I'd love to see Cam Thomas play for the Knicks or play for Cleveland, where they got him coming off the bench and he's got to be, hey, this is your role. This is what you're going to do. If you don't like it here, go back to the bad team and you can shoot as many times. You won't get paid that much. You don't get paid a lot now. But if you want to come over here and average 15 and be like our fourth or fifth option and be a guy we bring off the bench, we'll pay you $15 million a year, some real money, and you're going to be attributed as a guy that could play for 10 years because you're a winner. That's the type of shit that I believe Cam Thomas can do. I believe Cam Thomas can be a guy that has a team that's a really good team that needs scoring, which plenty of them do, and he can come help. The Pacers have like a Nembhard. I'm sorry, a Mathurin. You know, the Pacers have like the Mathurin guy just wants to score all the time. I think other good teams could use a guy like Cam Thomas like that. And if he's not playing well, you get him up, take him out. But in the playoffs, when shit gets shaky and like you're not scoring the ball, like that's when you got to be like, yo, Cam, get in there, go put the ball in the basket. That's what he does. I think there's a value to that. I think he's underpaid.
But did you see this coming from the offensive side for Nickeil? Because we knew he was a good defender.
No.
Did you know he was a 20-point per game guy?
No, absolutely not.
Right.
I played against him in pickup, and I don't know where that came. He must have got better. I was just with him in Timberwolves like 3-4 years ago.
Yeah.
Hell no, I didn't see that.
Right.
If Nickeil started dribbling over like 3 or 4 times, I thought he was going to dribble off his foot or turn the ball over because he's so erratic and he plays so fast. I didn't know he had this type of game, but again, it's amazing what confidence and opportunity he does. He hadn't had a lot of success at that time in the NBA prior to playing for the Minnesota. He was very up and down in
Pelicans
and Utah. It's almost like as if he was out of the league almost. comes to the Timberwolves, really starts to get a role defensively. Is what he hung his hat on only, remember?
Yeah.
Then he started only hitting spot shots. Then he started driving and kicking. Then now he's in Atlanta and it's added another layer. Now he's starting to create and score more. It's just what growth and opportunity does. Usually a lot of growth happens when the opportunity meets it. It's tough for you to grow if you're like working on your handle every day and then you go to work and the coach is like, don't dribble. We need you to rebound. You ain't going to grow.
Yeah.
Even if you're working on every day, if I'm in the gym every day with iron, working on step back threes, if I get in there and shoot a step back three and Monty Williams yells at me, how the hell am I supposed to get better at shooting off the dribble?
So are you saying players should work on what they do in the game?
Absolutely.
And then maybe in the offseason?
Yeah, once you master it, then you start throwing a little something else out there because they got to play you because you've mastered that other thing. So now that you've mastered one thing that they're going to play you for, now because you're out there, well, now once you're out there, you're out there. You can maybe add a thing or two. And then before you know it, you're
Here are the stats. Yeah, last year he averaged 9.4 points per game. This year for Atlanta, 20 points per game, only 7 more minutes. That's a big jump.
But it's not about always the time. It's about like the way it's like last year, the role he had. You were a 3 and D guy, meaning I need you to defend and catch and shoot when open. If not, get off the ball. That's simple. And that's what he mastered. And because he mastered that so well and played so well, the Hawks paid him to do that. Well, now he's got the big contract. He's got a lot of confidence, no pressure.
He's playing better than like DeJounte Murray did for them. It's crazy.
He could play carefree.
Yeah.
Now he's in there playing, and that confidence matched with his hard work, the growth in his game, matched with opportunity. He's getting an opportunity now to go out there and like kind of showcase he can do a little bit more, and he's doing it. So, yeah, now it's complicated.
And that backcourt with him and Dyson Daniels, really good defensive backcourt, too. So, I mean, if they end up, obviously, they still have Trey, but those two together, I imagine, would be one of the better defensive backcourts in the NBA.
For sure.
Yeah, and then you got to look at, like,
I think at this point,
first-time All-Star.
Did Trey Young and Paolo Banchero just form their own team?
Everyone that people are just, like, writing off.
Kyrie, let's just get the whole team that everybody thinks like teams. You know what I mean? Well, not Kyrie anymore, remember, the Boston.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Paolo, people.
No, Wemby's out, and the Spurs were winning a lot of games. I was like, yeah, I guess you guys should just trade Wemby now.
Yeah, I guess
that's the way under that logic.
Trade Paolo. That went kind of viral when I said the Paolo thing.
People liked it. They were like, because you were like, listen, stupid idiot fans. Everyone was like, see, you guys are idiots. Like other fans going at those fans.
See, he said it.
Yeah, he created a little like a civil war.
Well, that's because people are like, they do play better. They do. I'm not denying that they don't play better. I do think the Magic are playing better without Paolo. I don't think it's sustainable.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying. Why are they playing better without Paolo? It's very simple, and it doesn't take a trained eye to see. The ball is moving. The ball is popping. They're playing at even a faster pace. They already played at a decent pace. They're playing even faster, and they're getting more threes up. Even, because Paolo's the guy who holds it, shoots a lot of mid-range, does his dance. That's been eliminated. So now you have one primary ball handler, simplified things, with Franz. He gets to get in his bag, pick and choose when he wants to be aggressive, when he doesn't want to be, when he wants to be a playmaker, because he has the ball the whole game. So Franz gets to do his thing, and it's simplified their entire offense. And now you get guys like Anthony Black and Desmond Bane who are getting way more opportunities, Desmond Bane to fit in, Anthony Black to assert himself in the NBA. It's all coming together, and they're playing better. It is the truth. The Magic are better without Paolo right now. It's not sustainable.
Well, yeah, in a perfect world, to be a title contender, you need your best player and those guys playing well.
To win a title, your best player has to play.
Yeah.
And he has to be fit and gelled in with what you got working on now, which is why what's going on right now for Orlando is a very exciting thing. It shouldn't be viewed as a problem.
Exactly.
It should be a very exciting thing that your team's playing this well without Paolo, because that means when Paolo comes back, he can't just come back and be like, hey, back to my way, because no. This team's had success without you. So now you get your best player trying to play his game within the team game. So now you're adding your best player back to the style of play that you're playing that he wants to work with, because he don't want to up your guy's good play. It's going to be best case scenario. This is what happens.
But the Trey Young situation is different.
Trey Young is different because it's been his culture. It's been his play style since he's been there. He's been there for goddamn.
But Jalen Johnson, we're looking at like almost an all-NBA guy right now.
This is a new phase that they've got coming in. Paolo is part of the new phase. What are you talking about? There's no culture for Paolo. Paolo and Franz are the rebirth. Okay, this is what everyone's excited about. Now one guy's down there playing with him. Get rid of him. What are you guys? This is not the Trey's not the same. Trey's been in Atlanta for damn near a decade. He's took in the playoffs, play-ins. He's done his whole thing. Now they got this new young core that's going totally different vibe. they're trying to decide, do we keep him, do we move him and just stay on this young course, or do we still build around? Because if Trey's playing, it has to be he's the guy still. That's a totally different conversation than this young group just asserting through the NBA, and then one of the guys goes down. They're still playing when they're like, oh, we don't need him. Get rid of him. What are y'all talking about? For who?
Right. I think the tricky thing also is that the East is so wide open that these teams are all like, the right move, the right thing can get us up there. For example, all right, now the Pistons have lost a couple games since our last pod. They finally have lost a couple.
Yep.
If you're the Pistons, do you make a trade and
Yep.
say, let's just go get it, or do you let it ride?
Nope.
And say, this team, the East is open, we can just play this way.
Teams can always get better, and there have been teams who have done this time and time again. You think they're like really good.
I think the Pistons traded for Rasheed Wallace and won the title that year in 04.
And they were
like,
already very good. You can get better.
Yeah.
Like, yes, the Pistons won some games in a row. Very good. I still don't have them coming out of the East. So, yes, that means you can make moves to get better. They need more shooting. I don't give a damn what anybody thinks. And they got
just
some
overall, maybe even more scoring.
scoring, shooting,
Yeah.
period. And I like some of the heart and hustle guys they have. I like Jenkins and I like Sasser and Ivy. They play hard. I'm telling you, they just need some ball players that can put the ball in the basket. Ivy's can score a little bit. He's
I love what Ron Holland does, but like you said, like more of a natural scorer.
Yes, like you have Holland, you have Jenkins, you have all these guys that are hard. In the playoffs, everyone play hard.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you, okay? So this is what's going to happen. The Pistons are going to play some in the playoffs, and they're going to find out everybody in the court's playing it. This is what happens. These heart and hustle teams that make the playoffs, the hustle's game's out. Heart's out. You need more than that because everyone's playing hard.
No one's on a back-to-back either, so
They're
they're ready.
not on a back-to-back. Every game's nationally televised, and it's the NBA playoffs where everyone's going to prepare for you because they know they're going to play you up to 4 to 7 times. So all that hustle, that shit is out because everyone's playing hard. Now, who can execute and actually play some ball here? Okay, and good news for Pistons is the guy who has the ball in their hands, in my eyes, is one of the most top-tier guards in the world. That's Cade Cunningham. All right, so you got the hard part right. You got physicality and strength down low. You got Stewart with Duran down there, great. You added some shooting, Duncan, great. You lost a lot when you lost Schroeder, another primary ball handler that can help out and ease that stress load for Cade, especially in the playoffs. And then you lost shooting when you lost Malik Beasley and Tim Hardaway Jr. So what's left is this good team of heart and hustle guys surrounded by that core I just said. What they need to implement is still some more shooting and a guy who can maybe make to a level to where in the playoffs you can count on them. I don't know what that is, what that looks like, but yes, Pistons should be going out there making some moves. I don't think there's a team in the NBA right now that can't make a move other than the team that's down in Oklahoma City. They're the only team that shouldn't make a move.
No, their move might need to be, all right, forget the record. We want to be healthy by the playoffs with all these injuries going around.
Yeah,
why are we grinding these guys?
Why don't we start sitting these guys out?
We're like 20-1.
We don't need to break the NBA record. I don't know what that's their problem.
Their problem is the opposite. Instead of adding, they're like, maybe we should.
They're trying to figure out ways to slow down them. Other than them, and maybe the Spurs are looking good in a rebuild in some areas, but even then, they got a bunch of wings that are you got Kelvin Johnson, you got the Hassel, you got Stephen Castle, you got. Vassell.
I think the Spurs should still just let's just.
No, but I'm saying though they could make a move. Maybe you got Harrison Barnes. They got a lot of wings. You could maybe move one other guy.
Is your Wemby window closing? Because every year he seems to have some kind of an injury.
Yes.
So you want to make a move now?
I want
Don't wait.
I want a big next to Wemby. Yeah. So when you have Vassell and Harrison Barnes and Kelvin John, you got all these wings. I get it, and I like all these guys. It's Stephen Castle. They got all these damn wings. They're all good, and I would like them to grow and continue to develop. You also have Harper and Fox. There's a lot there. I'm saying there are moves that the Spurs are eventually decisions are going to have to make because unless they are able to get a top pick in a draft or something like that comes their way, they need another big next to Wemby. Just like they went and got Hartenstein, which was a huge deal for the Thunder last year in the playoffs. Next to Chet. Wemby needs that too. Otherwise,
Chet right now is the odds-on favorite to win Defensive Player of the Year.
Otherwise, he's going to be in and out of games and get hurt. Yeah. You got to keep Wemby healthy. Then he shouldn't be taking no bruising down there. He shouldn't be guarding no post presence. Sangoon, all those guys. I don't want Wemby guarding none of them. Hey, your help side. You're always the guy coming over to block shit. Leaves him out the fray. I don't need you down there just taking all that pressure from all these big men. No. We're not doing that. That's what they need to do. That's what they brought in Hartenstein for. That's exactly what OKC's going to do again if they get a top pick because they have the Clippers pick. Better hope they don't get a top 2 or 3 pick. The boy from Duke is on his way. He's coming there. It's 100% chance they're drafting him. He's going right next to Chet. Oh my God! And it frees up cash because they can move Hartenstein because he has hella trade value. Spurs might take him.
Right. Do you have the Lakers? We're talking about teams that either stay put or make a trade. The Lakers are second in the West. Do you have the Lakers needing to make a move, or you're second in the West and Reeves and Luka are playing this way?
Reeves and Luka.
Do you just leave it alone?
No, hell no. I mean, I'm not moving Reeves and Luka.
No, I'm just saying. But do you make?
Yeah,
do you
there's
make
guys you can move. There's guys they don't even play that have like decent value in the league. I'm not saying they can make a. I don't. First off, it's all relative to what a team needs. You said make a move. What type of move? A little move? Yeah, a big move? I don't know.
Normally if a team's second in the West, you would just kind of
I'm not saying like,
let it ride.
again, I don't think, the Milwaukee Bucks and the Lakers need to make the same move. One might be more drastic than the other.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Bucks are right now trying to find something where the Lakers are second in the West. So, again, I think they need more interior size. I like Ayton. I like Hayes. I gotta see them in the playoffs though. I gotta see that work out. I would like a little bit more interior defense. I would like another wing defender. They don't, because the wing defenders they have aren't guys who shoot the ball well. So Luka and Reeves are both two guys who are going to be playing heavy minutes in the playoffs and don't defend at the highest level. All right. So that third guy's got to be a defender. They have like Vando in there, but Vando don't space the floor for them. So they don't play Vando no more. So, Hachimura is like this in between a 3 and 4. He's a little slow for a 3. He's a little undersized for a 4. He's like that fusion guy. So he's like, you know what I'm saying? Like They could use a nice wing 3 and, D guy. They tried to get it last year. Marcus Smart's the guy they play sometimes in that role, so he's done well.
They had Dorian Finney-Smith and lost him.
Yeah, they lost him. He didn't really fit there. He couldn't really find his way in L.A. either. They've been trying to find that. So I would say that wing or just a little bit more interior size. Other than that, guard-wise, they're good. I mean, they got those two out there.
You've been so high on the Cavs, for example, this whole time. They just lost again yesterday to the Celtics. Pritchard had like something crazy on him. What do you think? Like, are you still waiting for them to be fully high? Like, they didn't have Jared Allen last night or Strus. Are you still thinking the Cavs are the favorite, or did they need to make a move? Are you sick of this range? Like,
it's tough to diagnose
this version of the Cavs. We've seen it a lot now.
Cleveland, because they've just been hurt so much. Strus hasn't played the whole season.
Yeah.
All these guys have been in and out, in and out. They've dealt with just about more injuries than anybody in the NBA. So it's really hard for me to diagnose what Cleveland needs because I haven't seen their full final product on the floor the whole year. So fully healthy, they look perfect. They got a really damn near good team. They're another team that doesn't have to do much. They wouldn't have to do anything at the top, no. But you have Garland. You have Donovan Mitchell. If Strus is healthy, you have him. You got Allen. And you got a big fella, Mobley. Both of those two.
But they should have had enough last night to beat. Or
got scoring off the
Celtics.
bench.
Yeah.
Then they have LeVert.
Yeah.
No,
LeVert's in Detroit.
LeVert's in Detroit. They have Sam Merrill off the bench. And a couple other guys. They probably could add some scoring off the bench. I know it sounds crazy, but sometimes Garland or one of those guys are off the floor, and it can get a little shaky out there offensively.
Yeah. The NBA right now is scoring more points than they have in decades. Like, are you a fan of the offensive boom, or do you think it's like, are you the kind of guy that gets annoyed because like, where's the defense? What side are you on that argument?
Where's the defense? The game has expanded out, so it's harder to defend. It's just like science almost at this point, analytics, whatever, math, whatever you want to call it. It's like go watch a 90s game. The game is played in within 20 feet. So it was physical. It was hard to score. Final score was 75-82. But you got guys shooting 7 feet behind the three-point line, bro. 4 feet behind the three-point. You got guys launching. Shooting 53s a game, these teams. Step backs, side steps, behind the back. This. I mean, it's just
like remember those like D'Antoni's Suns teams were like this revolutionary team. They'd be last in offense by far now. Like
right now
already.
It's just the evolution of the game. It's the skill level of the game and how far the game's been stretched out. Just more vulnerability in the paint. It's easier to get to the paint because the centers are shooting 40. Everyone's shooting. Right? I call these games every week. His center will bring it up and be like. I'm like, this is crazy. And cash it. I'm like, yo, I'll look at his percentage. I'm like, whoa, he shot that. He's only shooting 38%. It's pretty good. So the game is, MJ, those guys shot 34% from three because they didn't shoot a lot of them. The game was played within 20, 25 feet, less, 15 feet, 20 feet. Now it's played 35 feet, man, 40 feet. The game is expanded outwards, let alone evolutionized just skill-wise. So it's harder to guard. So the numbers, the paint touches, how open it is, like the scoring is just going to continue to. Bro, in 10 years from now, guys are going to be shooting. I don't even know. I don't know. We continue to make limits for ourselves as humans, but then we continue to push them.
What did you see what Stan Van Gundy said? He said maybe the top 20 players of all time played in the last 20 years. That's how much the evolution of the game has come along.
That's just what it has to be. So that's where we're going to get to a point where we stop comparing and we just start appreciating, because there's an understanding and realization that the game has changed and evolutionized to the point where, like, you can't compare because it's not even fair, right? And people get disrespected because, like, I could be like, yo, if I played in the 80s, I tell my dad this all the time.
I've seen your dad go after get after it on this
I would give my pops the coolest 30 piece he's ever seen. I am 100% confident I'm not kidding. I don't give a damn what, he was an all-star for the Hawks, right? Take all-star Doc. Deep frying him.
We got to get him on the pod for this conversation.
I'm deep frying. He's never seen an in-and-out cross. Bro, I've seen Michael do a pump fake like this, and they slipped. And they were like, whoa. And again, so I'm just telling you, like, and I'm not one of those guys that are like, Michael's the GOAT. I love it because I'm able to appreciate for what he did in a generation. I'm not comparing. I'm not comparing Ant to
it's
Anthony.
It's all baked in with Michael too, with the aura and the shoes and the whole. You're like, it's a whole thing for you.
It's a whole thing for me for one.
Not all about
I also like how he dominated his era. So I do the era thing. It's hard. Michael said the same thing. But I'm not comparing Michael Jordan to Anthony Edwards. I don't know if Michael could do anything better than him skill wise. But
wow,
you know what I'm saying? Just like. Ant shoots 39 from 3. Ant shoots this. Ant was more explosive. There's different things. He's stronger. He's bigger. Like, it's just the evolution of the game. It's hard to judge that. At the end of the day, Michael dominated an era that Ant could never dream of. Michael got this shit. You know what I mean? Well, what year is it for Ant? Year 6?
2020 draft.
So Michael started tapping in right now. He lost his first 4 or 5, then after that the league was over.
Yeah.
So it'd be like Ant winning this year, next year, then takes a break to go play football, then comes back and wins again 3 times or whatever.
Michael won in his 7th season.
So it's like, but even before he won, he was the best player in the league. Like the Pistons used to just gang foul and be like, there's only one man can't beat us, but he almost can because he's that good.
It's always like that storybook and all those documentaries, even The Last Dance for all, when they're like, once he started trusting his teammates, Michael, that's when the Bulls were unbeatable, right? Like you got to make like John Paxson good.
Yeah, that's what happened. Because I mean, they knew it early. Like this dude was in his first couple of years dropping 60 versus the. That clip of him putting the ball between his legs 3 times.
Larry Bird was like, I don't know what that was tonight. He's like, but retirement's coming soon.
Jump in the air, hang in there, midi. Like he used to hang in there and shoot those middies, bro. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, so you got to celebrate the fact that he was doing it first and doing it like when no one knew what that was.
Right, but now we have guys doing that 3 feet behind the 3.
Oh, no, we have Wemby dunking without jumping.
So again, it's not that we're better. We wouldn't have done it without them.
Yeah.
They're part of the evolution that makes us great. Without the Michaels and LeBrons and the Steph Currys, we wouldn't have. Without Steph, we wouldn't be shooting threes like this. So like, it has to be attributed that they are a part of why players are better now. So that's why using it against them and be like, we're better than you. It's like it's so flawed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like
there's a lot of guys that were like, I wasn't told to shoot threes. Why the hell
would I shoot Michael's
threes?
Like, if I played in today's era, then I would work out less. I wouldn't be in the gym with what was this?
It was with Tim Grover doing bench pressing all day.
And like
he
doing
did that
heavy.
To beat the Pistons. They were
he would have been in the gym with Drew Hanlon shooting, Chris Brickley shooting 300, 500. You know that guy. Who knows? Michael would have shot 1,000 threes a day.
Right.
So it's like it's impossible to compare. With that being said, when we're talking about way back, you're talking about 80s, 90s. That's what I'm saying. I'm frying my pops. No disrespect. I cook him, bro. I've seen his highlights. I've seen his moves. He's never done an in-and-out crossover. He's never done anything.
I can't wait to talk to him.
It'd be nasty work, bro. Yeah. It'd be nasty work. You dropped me in the 80s, I would have been in Cleveland. You know 2 years ago, everyone came for the 75th anniversary and had a red coat. I would have had a red coat.
You would have a statue?
I would have had one on there. I would have had a statue outside the Magic Arena, somewhere wherever I play, and just been like. Now, if you drop me back without all the evolution, and I would have grew up in their era, I would have been the same player I was how I was in this era. I would have been a role player. If I played in the 90s without the evolution of the game, if I played in my dad's era without the evolution of the game, I would have been a prototypical role player in the NBA, played 10 years, had a good career. That's it. Just like I did recently.
Yeah.
But if you're going to give me everything I got now and the skill, the Euro step, they would have called a travel if I did a Euro. I'm dogging them.
Yeah.
I would have came off a screen and saw whoever, like, they were like, whoa. Up and under.
I mean, your first step's quick now compared to people in today. So
they were playing again. Their sneakers weren't even built for.
They also were calling like travels on people that were doing nothing. So they might have called a couple travels.
My stutter step would have confused, bro. Their shoes that they wore back then weren't even built to to handle our type of cuts and movements.
We would have to wear those shoes too, though.
That's what I'm saying. But I'm saying if I got to be me, if I got to come back in my hyper dunks and my scratch that. If I got to come back in my my AE ones, you know what I mean, and play those guys, it would have been a little bit different. That's what I'm saying, bro. The evolution is everything. Sneakers, bro. If I would have tried in like the Michael's out there doing up and under dunks and some cement threes. Things are cinder blocks.
Right.
If he tried to do I don't even know. He would have broke his, so again, we do need to get him on though to have that talk.
It's going to be a good talk. People, when they see that part about you saying you'd give your dad the business, they're going to say that he would hand check you.
Oh my God. Who cares? I've never been hand-checked in the history of my basketball. In the history of me playing, in the NBA, college, you name it, no one's ever put a hand on me. I've never felt someone hand-check.
I've heard him say that
the refs never let a game get physical.
He's gonna be roughing you up
they let us hand-check every playoffs. No, is it like the 90s? No. But we also aren't playing 20 feet in. You can't hand-check by half court. I'm just going to drive by you. How can you hand-check if you're behind me?
Hand-check.
Pause.
And you
But that's how I feel. You can't, bro. Listen, again, that's no disrespect. I respect all those guys, every single one of them. Again, but we're using evolution on my side here. That's the whole point. Now, if you don't, I'm a role player, just like I was in today's modern time. But if you take me with my modern day skills, everything I know, and me at my best, and dump them in the '80s. Without any of their knowledge of what's about to happen in the 20 years of evolution of the game, I would come down and do a Euro step, and people wouldn't know what happened. They'd be like, travel. I would be doing stuff. I would hit cross carry. Like, bro, things they don't even know. They would not be able to guard me. Never seen anything like it before. I would have been a mutant. The way Michael does stuff through the air, and people were like, yo, I can't do that. I never could do that. But putting the ball in the basket and just shooting from behind, bro, imagine me shooting a step back three. People are like, that's an awful shot. No, you only shot a three if you were open. They used to hit a three and the crowd would be like, yes! 3 points. You know what I mean? Bro, I would be on a foot rebound, pushing it. Just, oh, man. Yeah, bro. No.
Before we wrap, I want to ask you, you just went to the Bulls shoot around. You saw Billy Donovan. You once decommitted from the Florida Gators.
We don't bring that up.
So you and him are just
we're cool. We've already had 10 years in the NBA of us having that joke. The first 4 years of my NBA career, every time I saw Billy, he's like, the one that got away. I always tell my wife, it wasn't my ex.
They went to the Elite Eight that year. They went to the Elite Eight.
I know. Oh, my year?
No, when you because that was with Bradley Beal.
Oh, they did go to the Elite Eight.
Yeah. They lost to Louisville.
Yeah,
Irvin Walker, Kenny Boyd.
Yeah.
Way too many guards. Bradley Beal, Irvin Walker, Kenny Boyd.
There are a bunch of mini guards.
Put you out there too.
Bunch of mini guards. Yeah, Mike Rosario. They were full of them. I was I'm not going there. I didn't feel like playing there.
I didn't feel like playing. I didn't feel like playing.
I didn't want to play there at that point in time. But by the way, it wasn't even that. I didn't really care. I would have played over anybody anyway. No, none of those guys would have played over me.
No, you would have played. It would have been like a 4-guard lineup, like Villanova back in the day with Randy Foy.
Yeah. But I felt like at the time Kyrie was leaving Duke. I'm like, bro, it's right there.
And you had that weird preseason like Beijing. Did you know you were doing all that when you were?
Oh, we went to Dubai.
A bunch of places. Didn't you go? It was like a little preseason. You were playing before that Duke team was playing before anyone was playing.
Yeah, we were playing summer games.
Yeah.
We went to Dubai. That's why I knew it was going to be a coach. He's the real deal. We're getting screamed at. They were beating like this. These I was going to say poor dudes from Dubai, but probably very wealthy. We were beating these wealthy dudes that were all 5'5". This guy's probably all billion. I don't know. Who knows? We were beating them by 32 at halftime. He's just screaming at us. It's just you guys are playing like dog shit. He wanted us to win by 200. These guys were, I don't know who we were playing or what was going on. We were in some gym. These poor, it was, that's what I was like, oh shit, this is about to be for real. I can already, this college is going to be interesting.
All right, let's wrap.
Anyways, enough of that. We'll be back later in the week. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow us on Instagram and TikTok, the Off Guard Podcast. All of our links are there, so you can see and find out where to listen and watch our videos too. We are all up on YouTube as well. You can watch it on NBC and as well as my YouTube, Austin Rivers. Make sure everybody has a safe week. I know we're still getting over the Thanksgiving food. It's that weird time right now. You need to lock in. This is why. All right? You got Christmas around the corner, followed by New Year's. More shenanigans. All right? We just had Halloween, Thanksgiving, more shenanigans. You got like a 2-week period here. All right? This is like that in-between holiday time. You got to lock in. You got to eat right. Monitor your drinking. Focus on your family. Focus on getting shit done. Because holidays comes and things are up in the air. It's family and gifts and presents and parties and eating this and heavy food and celebrating and the New Year's and party, the whole 9 yards. This 2-week little window here, you get a little like, some people just try to just keep doing it through, and then the holidays and they come through just you gotta.
That's when the fake New Year's resolution of locking in on January 1st comes in.
I'm gonna stop, bro. Just stop.
Well, can I ask you? That actually reminds me of something. People were talking about this argument. The day after Thanksgiving, if you're eating like the leftovers still from the day before, like next day, I'm disgusted with myself. The fact that the next day people are still eating the turkeys with the mashed potatoes and all this stuff on Friday.
You don't.
I think you should wake up Friday and be like, all right.
You don't get to have Thanksgiving 3 times. All right, that's not how it works. Now, if you want to have a side, something you saved that you really like from that dish, like, you know what, I'm gonna treat myself tomorrow. It's the holidays. I like those yams. I'm gonna set aside a little bowl. Maybe tomorrow I'll have a little bit of those, watching a little movie late night. That's fine. A little mac and cheese. You want a little side or two? When you're putting ham and stuffing and gravy and chicken and concocting another enormous
if it's
plate.
flowing into the weekend and you're still beefing up like bulking season, it's a problem.
It's give it up.
Yeah.
The food by now should be garbage. Anybody who's Thanksgiving left in their fridge and still eating it, I think we still have some in our fridge. We just haven't discarded it yet. Yeah. Ain't nobody eating it. It's a problem. All right? You got to know when to let it go. And these next 2 weeks are, I think, crucial for you to just kind of like, you know, family's going to be in town. Everyone leave, then they come back. It's just that time of year is coming again. Christmas is even heavier.
Eat those yams last night?
And that's like 3 days later, bro. Hippo.
No, I didn't eat the yams last night.
Sweet potatoes last night?
No. Oh, I did. That's what I said. I just said if you have a one-off side.
Thanksgiving extended.
Right now, is it?
Thanksgiving extended.
First off, me being called out live on my pod like that is
crazy.
Secondly, I said I had yams as a one-off. I said, like, if you have a bowl of yams, I was specifically talking about what I did.
It's hard to throw away the yams.
You always got to eat the yams. You know what I mean? But nah, we try to keep it tight, especially around this time of year. 2 weeks in between. Let's clean it up. Let's watch drinking. Let's watch what we're eating. Let's hit the gym. Let's focus. Why don't we get everything we needed to get done at the end of this year? Let's wrap some things up. Let's organize. How about that, people, if you're listening? If you have one thing you do this week, why don't you organize your next couple weeks? What you're getting for your kids, what you want to get for them, what you need to do work-wise, what you need to organize, pay bill. Get it done these next 2 weeks, because then you can enjoy Christmas and New Year's. After that, then it's just going to be like, then you start the New Year's behind. I feel shitty from drinking too. I ate too much. I was partying. I didn't do it. Then you're already starting off 2026. These next 2 weeks are important. Lock in. And to do that, you got to subscribe. Y'all be safe. We'll be back later in the week. We're out.